Hey, what is up, you guys? It is Tyler. Welcome back to the Tyler Williams channel. Welcome to another Mae Young Classic review. This is Mae Young Classic 2018. It is the 4th day of round number 1. And yes, I did not catch it last night. Well, I did. I had a long day yesterday. Ended up going out with a few coworkers. Came home. I watched the first match and then I crashed. I woke up, it was 3 a.m. and the light was still on. I'm like, all right, I gotta go sleep. Woke up at like 9, immediately turned this on, and this is where we are now. So, like I said, it was the last day of round 1. Next week we'll be getting kids to the Sweet 16, as Michael Cole said. I don't really want to call it that, but yeah, the 16, then you go to 8, you know, final 4, and of course the final round. You guys know how these tournaments go. But anyway, let's get straight into it. Let me just say, I think that how it works is that they record these rounds, I think, one day at a time, or probably record, I think they record the Mae Young Classic over the course of 2 days. So they probably recorded like a lot of matches in one day. And it really showed, because on this day, a lot of the entrances, some of the moves, it was so quiet. You could hear a pin drop in the arena. You could hear a feather drop in the arena. That's how quiet it was at points. And one of these women came out. Lord, I felt so bad for them. Like, no one reacted at all. But we'll get to that in a second. So let's go off with the first match. We have Hiroyo Matsumoto versus Rachel Evers. Now, in this tournament, last year I think we only had 1 Japanese woman. In this tournament we had 3 Japanese women. If you count, well, 4 if you count Mae Yim. I almost confused her with Xia Brooks. If you count Mae Yim, then it's 4. But I'm gonna stick with 3 because Mae Yim is half black. Not to say that disqualifies her, but you guys get what I mean. You had Hiroyo Matsumoto, Miko Satomura, and Io Shirai. I think of all the 3, I think that Hiroyo Matsumoto is probably the least impressive in my opinion. Well, not to say she wasn't good, but she just really did not strike me as, you know, oh my god, she's really, like, you know. She faced off against Rachel Evers, who was very over in the crowd. The crowd loved Rachel Evers. I mean, Hiroyo, she came out. That was one of the women I was talking about. She had, like, no reaction when she came out. She was, like, trying to clap with the crowd behind her. And they're like, yeah. But other than that, like, man, it was almost radio silence when she came out. Like, nobody knew who she was. And I'll be honest, I didn't even know who she was either. Like, I knew who Io Shirai was, and I heard of Miko Satomura, but I did not know of Hiroyo Matsumoto. So I kind of understand that. Like I said, Rachel Evers, she got a good ovation, especially because she was in last year's tournament. I do not remember if she lost in the first round or the second round. I think she lost in the second round, but she's come back for vengeance. This match was probably the it was weird because they had a lot of moves going on, and Rachel Evers, she did her thing. Hiroyo Matsumoto, I think she had like the Lady Godzilla gimmick going on. It's not like she was like some big woman or like really tall. Like, she looked like a standard, probably like maybe 5'9", 5'10", and not like she was like thick or anything. So the whole Lady Godzilla gimmick, I was like, I don't see it, but okay. So she had that gimmick going on. She did some power moves. There was one move where Rachel Evers went for a sunset flip powerbomb, and Hiroyo caught her, and she deadlifted her up for a powerbomb. That was cool. I will admit, that was really cool. Show of strength. But other than that, she didn't really catch my eye in this match at all. She finished off the match with Saito suplex for the pin. The crowd was almost dead silent when she won. They seemed very disappointed that Rachel Evers lost. And I'll be honest, I was too. Here's the thing about the Mae Young Classic this year. It's very weird because I felt like last year, I don't want to say it was predictable who was going to win, but it was a little predictable who's going to win. This year, I felt like a lot of the people you expected to win in the first round lost. I don't know if you guys feel that way, but I kind of felt like a lot of the people I was expecting to win lost. And we'll get to that when we get to the final brackets at the end of this video. But I felt like a lot of people I was expecting to win did not win. And that kind of threw me for a loop. And, you know, there is a surprise factor there, which is a good thing. But also kind of a, factor. But, you know. Hiroyo Matsumoto won the match with a Saito suplex for the pin. The crowd was cheering Rachel Evers after the match, which I don't know if that's a good sign for Hiroyo, but definitely is a good sign for Rachel Evers in the future if they sign her. Don't know if she signed to a WWE contract or not. Anyway, we get into the next match. Tainara Conti versus Jessie Alaban. Yeah, another match where the crowd really did not react to Tainara Conti. They were a little bit into Jessie Alaban. I don't want to sound disrespectful at all, but at first glance, at very, very first glance, I thought for a second that she was Mia Khalifa. But, hey, she was not. And after you get a better glance at her, you're like, okay, she's not Mia Khalifa. But she looked kind of fine, not going to lie. Anyway, Tainara Conti had a weird-ass entrance. She had a male speaking in the background as she made her way down to the... I was like, what the fuck kind of entrance theme is this? But Jessie Alaban, she had like this weird gimmick where she was kind of like a klutz, I guess. Like, I don't know what her gimmick was supposed to be. I guess she was supposed to be like a oh my god, everything's amazeballs and this is awesome. Like, I don't know I guess I could understand her gimmick, but I was like, okay. So this was probably one of the most uneventful matches of the entire tournament. I did not at all pay attention to this match. Tainara Conti finished off the match at a swinging side slam for the pin. She's making on to the next round. I think she lost in the first round last year, so she's making it on. I thought Jessie Alaban was going to win this match, but guess not. We then get on to the next match. Isla Dawn, or Isla Dawn, one of the two, versus Nicole Matthews. This match was decent. I was expecting Isla Dawn to win. Nicole Matthews did her thing. She did a lot of hard strikes and power moves. Isla Dawn, I thought she was going to do a lot more in this match, but I didn't see too much of her. Nicole Matthews kind of did a lot of the work. She finished off the match with a Lion Tamer, which I actually really liked, because you guys know I am a huge fan of Chris Jericho, my all-time favorite wrestler. So when she locked in the Lion Tamer, I marked out. And not that I want to see her win or anything, but I got my own Nicole Matthews. So she's moving on. Then we get to the main event, which you guys are all probably looking forward to. Io Shirai versus Xia Brookside. Xia Brookside making her debut in WWE at age 19. The daughter of Robert Brookside, who is a trainer at the Performance Center. Looks a lot like William Regal's little brother. Anyway, we also had the debut of course, Io Shirai, rated one of the greatest wrestlers in Japan, male or female. And it was easily tellable why in this match. Io Shirai, she showed off. In the very beginning of the match, Xia Brookside went for her Karana. Io Shirai landed on her hands and then flipped onto her feet. It was like, wow, damn. All right, I see you. She did some of her greatest hits in this match. One spot she had Xia Brookside in the corner. You know the Jeff Hardy move where he does the whole turnbuckle drop kick where he like propels himself in the air, then he drop kicks him. Well, she did that, but instead of a drop kick, she did the Adonai Anonymous like maybe or double knees, and she did it hard as shit to Xia, and I was like, holy shit. She did another takedown crossface, which is a beautiful takedown crossface that Xia got out of. Xia Brookside, man, she did not get any offense in this match at all. I mean, she got some offense in, but Io dominated the whole match. Now, I guess a lot of it must have been like, this is a young girl. Io is very talented, and she's been a veteran, so why would you have a rookie, dominate? So I guess I can understand why she did it. So that should be said. Like, this was mostly all Io Shirai. Finished off the match with her Asai moonsault, and she came up a little bit short because her legs hit They hit Xia, but like her legs just went straight into the stomach of Xia, so that was fine. She got the pin, and she's moving on to the next round. So Io Shirai winning this match in a pretty nice first debut. She's looking pretty impressive, so that I will say. Then we move on to the final 16. And we got the brackets right here, guys. We got Meiko Satomura versus Mercedes Martinez. So I got my predictions here real quick. I'm going to go Meiko making it on. Mercedes, I don't think has to really go any further. Lacey Evans versus Tainara Conti. Going to go with Lacey Evans. We got Toni Storm versus Hiroyo Matsumoto. Should be interesting. I'm going to go with Toni Storm. Mae Young versus Caitlyn. That's a kind of a hard match to call. I'm a little compelled to go with Caitlyn, though I think Mae Young probably should get the win. We got Tegan Knox versus Nicole Matthews. I'm going to go with Tegan, even though I don't really care for either woman. Then we got another interesting match: Rhea Ripley versus Casey Catanzaro, the American Ninja Warrior versus that badass Rhea Ripley. We got now. I am rooting and pulling for Rhea Ripley, even though I was cheering Casey Catanzaro because I did watch American Ninja Warrior. It doesn't show that she advanced, but she did. Io Shirai versus Zui? I don't know. I wasn't really impressed by Zui. I thought Ariel Monroe should have won, so I'm going with Io Shirai. Should have been Io Shirai versus Ariel Monroe. And then the last match of round 16. The final 16, round 2. Deonna Purrazzo versus Xia Li. I'm going to go with Deonna Purrazzo. For the 2 blocks, I'm going to go with probably Toni Storm versus Io Shirai. So that sounds like that's my predictions for probably the final round. Still, I think that was my prediction for the final round in the very beginning. So, yeah, guys, that was your Mae Young Classic review for September 27th, which is day 4. Tell me what you guys think down below of the final 16. Who you guys think is going to advance on to the final round. Let me know your favorite match down below. Love you guys always, and I will talk to you all later. Peace out.